Katha on Krishna's devotees. And every Sunday we have very special speakers and to read us books. Every day he reads with his friends and a group of devotees Prabhupada's books, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and his preaching is wonderful kirtaniya and a very good book distributor. And now he's also a very good husband to Sanskriti Mataji. So I hope that's true. So now let's give a big Hari Bol and welcome Damodara Krishna Prabhu. Today's topic is the glories of Shyamananda Pandit Prabhu. Whose appearance day was yesterday. He is a very wonderful associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and now here from Damodara Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu, for that introduction, though I don't deserve so nice words, but thank you so much, Prabhu. And whatever good things you might have said is all because of my Guru Maharaj and Krishna's mercy. Nothing is my, I would say, none of those things that he was saying is my endeavor. It's just the Guru and Krishna's mercy. So first we will start with Jai Radha Madhavan. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Radhe. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Vrindavan Dham, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Vrindavan Dham. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Jaya Gaurani Tai, Jaya Gaurani Tai, Jaya Patita Pavan Gaurani Tai. Jaya Gaurani Tai, Jaya Gaurani Tai, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Guru Dev, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, dear devotees.
Hare Krishna.
So, other than you, who is here for the first time? How did you hear about the program? Oh, Nidai Prabhu told you. So you study here at Ohio State? Awesome. Please keep visiting us on every Sunday. We have these programs. So today, before starting, I just wanted to pray to all of you, to request all of you to please bless me so that I can speak. It's not easy to speak from here. The reason is we need a lot of mercy in order to speak anything about Krishna. So I will request all of you to please bless me, and if I make any mistakes, please forgive me, because this is my first time here, and then I'm not very experienced, and then even if I'm experienced, I won't be eligible to speak on Krishna's topic. But today, we have a very special personality whom we are going to speak about, and his name is His Grace Shyamananda Pandit. And thank you, Rukmini Mataji, for sending me the references where I got all the pastimes from. And the references also, there's a video. His Grace Indranima Swami Maharaj, he make two parts, and the devotee is his favorite devotee, very special devotee, Shyamananda Pandit, and along with Srinivas Acharya and Narottam Das Thakur. So basically, these three devotees, just after the disappearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they spread the Sankirtan movement all over the world. So it is that special. So you, out of the one names over here, you see Srinivas Acharya as well, right? So this is a very special personality. He is a Mahabhagavad. And for the newcomers, what's the Sankirtan movement? Actually, Sankirtan movement is the dharma of this age of Kali Yuga. Like in every age, there is some dharma like austerity, meditation, dharma or sacrifice. So in this age of Kali Yuga, the sacrifice, or I would say the dharma, is Sankirtan movement. Sankirtan movement means coming together and chant the names of Krishna, Hari, or just discussing his pastimes. This is all called Sankirtan movement. So these three devotees, Shyamananda Pandit, Srinivas Acharya, and Narottam Das Thakur, they are very exalted people, very exalted people. And what is devotee? Devotee means a person who is dedicated to Krishna, who serves the God. And so he is also called as stalwart Vaishnava by all the leading Vaishnava acharyas. And he is obviously in Brahma Madhav Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. And then he is also known as King of Devotees. And this is being referred from in Shyamananda Sataka. And this is being written by his very dear disciple, Rasikananda Murari. And you won't believe, this person whom we are talking about today, is a Kanak Manjari in Golok Vrindavan. So he is very special. And then Kanak Manjari is 12 years old cowherd girl, and then she is a servant of Radharani. So basically, this person, these great souls doesn't take birth. Like we take birth, we have birthdays. These great souls appear, and they appear to help the conditioned soul. There are two types of soul: conditioned soul, who are conditioned to take birth, whatever their karma was in the past. According to that, they'll take birth. But great people from the spiritual world, they don't take birth. They appear just to help these conditioned soul. Because when we come into this material world, we forget where we belong to. So there is some push needed to help us. So these are the great souls that come. So this person, he appeared in the year 1535. So it's like 500 years ago. And then he appeared in the month of Chaitra, April. That's called April. And then that the place where he appeared is Narendra Bahadurpura. It's a place in the West Bengal area. So he appeared there, and then his father and mother name were Krishna Mandal, and mother name is Sri Durika. So basically, this child, and then it is explained that their parents were exceedingly pious people of impeccable character, and they were devotees of Krishna as well. So amazing parents, but somehow it is also mentioned that unfortunately all their kids died due to some reason. Like before, just after they take birth, they would die. So just after this kid born, the parents got little scared that what if something happened to this kid, this child as well. Therefore, they named him as Dukhi. So do you know, anyone know the meaning of the word Dukhi? Sad, sorrow. Why would parents name someone as Dukhi? And Radhanath Maharaj says it means sad, sorrow, that this person is named as miserable. This is the word he used, miserable. Why would his parents name him like that? Because they were scared. If Yamraj comes this time, he would say, oh, let me take this Dukhi. And he would think, oh, this person is already very miserable. Why should I take him? So that's why they named him Dukhi, just to save him. Just that was their care. And somehow, after he started going to the school and nothing happened to him. So then when he started going to the school, like Gurukul, that time it was Gurukul, so he was very intelligent, and then he's highly intellectual and good in all subjects. So all the teachers there, they were like amazed by this small kid, and then they would say that this Dukhi is so intelligent. And his father also noticed that he is also very much attracted to Gaura and Nitai pastime since childhood only. So since the childhood, he was interested in Gaura and Nitai pastimes. And then, so since parents were devotees of Krishna, they know the importance of initiation, spiritual knowledge and all that. Therefore, they were very happy to see that this our small kid is interested in Gaura and Nitai pastimes. So they told him that yeah, you should take initiation. But the small kid said, I already decided my spiritual master. And he, while listening the pastimes of Gaura Nitai, he also heard about one very saintly person, and his name is Hridaya Chaitanya. He is also from a place called Ambika Kalna. That's like a little far away from West Bengal. But so this kid heard about Hridaya Chaitanya, and then he said, okay, I want to get initiation from him. Parents got really happy that our kid is interested in Krishna consciousness. In many scriptures it is defined, it is said that spiritual knowledge should start at a very young age. Like most of our life get used in some or the other things, like half of our life is go in sleeping, like 8 hours or 9 hours we sleep. So half of our life goes in sleeping, 1/3 of our life, and then 1/3 of our life goes in eating and doing other things. And then when we are like young, some part of our life is used in, oh, I should go to school, I should study, I should earn money. Then when we become little young, then I want to get married. So basically it is said that most of our life get used because in different things in the material world, but we should realize the importance of spiritual knowledge, and then we should take this Krishna consciousness. So basically his parents got really happy, and then So he said, I want to go and take initiation, and he was very young. They thought that how would you go so far? And those days they don't have planes or cars, so he would just have to walk till Ambika Kalna. But he said, no, no, he was really determined. And some parents and like mother and father, Krishna Mandal and Durika, they decided that let's send our kid to take initiation. So they just prayed to Krishna, and then they said, okay, you can go. So he started going to Ambika Kalna then. But parents were worried, but they said, okay, we will just surrender to Krishna there. Then finally, this kid, Dukhi, his name is Dukhi. So this kid, he started, and then he met Hridaya Chaitanya. So this Hridaya Chaitanya was very exalted Vaishnava as well. And then there is a pastime given for Hridaya Chaitanya as well, but I'll discuss about him a little later. So Hridaya Chaitanya was meditating in his ashram, and then he was chanting Hare Krishna mantra, and then he was meditating on Krishna Balram pastimes. And as soon as this Dukhi, he entered into the ashram, this Hridaya Chaitanya's meditation broke, and he realized that a very saintly person came to his ashram. And then as soon as he met him, he understood that this person is, it is said, this person is recognized that he is qualified to worship Krishna. He recognized that he is qualified to worship Krishna. And it is also, Indradumna Maharaj said that just like a jeweler, he don't even need to like see, like just as soon as he see there is a diamond, he would understand that this is an important stone. Similarly, a pure devotee, he understand just by his glance, he would understand the other person if how good he is, how good he can be. So Hridaya Chaitanya understood that. So, and then he understood that this person has a very strong Guru Nishtha. And then Tamal Krishna Maharaj, there is a saintly person, there was a saintly person who was a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. He was explaining that the most important thing in spiritual life is Guru Nishtha. So Hridaya Chaitanya Das understood that this person has a lot of Nishtha for me, for his Guru. He understood his heart. And then, so he said, yeah, okay, you came here to serve. Okay, you can start serving. So he started serving for some time, and then he really got pleased, and then he decided to initiate him. So he got initiated in 1553. So you can calculate, like 1535 was his birth, and then 1553 he got initiated. So his age was just 18 years. He got initiated, and then Hridaya Chaitanya, he named him. His initiated name was Dukhi Krishna Das. So that was his initiated name, Dukhi Krishna Das. And then after that, after initiation, he got really grateful that his spiritual master accepted him, and then he started serving him. And pleased Hridaya Chaitanya Das. And then after a few years, he requested his Guru Maharaj that, Guru Maharaj, can I please go to pilgrimages so that I can serve all the dhams as well. So he gave the permission because he was already pleased. He said, yeah, you can go. So he started going to different pilgrimages, and it is said that he nearly took 8 years of different places of pilgrimages in various parts of India. And then he came back to Ambika Kalna. After visiting different pilgrimages, he came back to Ambika Kalna, where his spiritual master is, and then his spiritual master was waiting for him. Like, he was waiting for him anxiously. How is he doing? So a spiritual master, like accepting spiritual master, is very important, because spiritual master can see how the student is doing. Just like if I want to get a degree and I say I want to study PhD in material science, I am doing PhD in material science, I say I want to just study at home. If I don't go to school, I won't get the degree. It's not applicable. So that's how the importance of Guru is, and Guru can teach all these topics. Guru can teach all these topics nicely. So basically, as soon as this Dukhi Krishnadas came back, he started, so Guru Maharaj asked how was his visit, and then he can see he got really exalted after his visit to different pilgrimages. So we should consider that visiting different dhams and pilgrimages is not just like useless. It is very important to visit different places and get surcharged in Krishna consciousness. Recently, Alec visited Vrindavan Dham. So after he came back, I could see how excited he was about all the different devotees he met and how people he visited. So that's how we can get I would say enthusiastic after going to different dhams. So then he came back, and then another thing is our Guru is always interested how our disciples are doing. Even though Guru is far away, he might be in some different country, but a Guru is always interested in how his disciple doing. He's always anxious about his disciple, and Guru considers that as his most important service. Why? Because the disciple has given his life to him. So he considered him as this service as the most important service. So he would always think about his disciples. And so as soon as he came back, his Guru Maharaj got really pleased, and then he said, now you are very nice, so you should do one service. So in their ashram, they have Gauranitai deities. So just think about this. The Gauranitai was just there like few years back, and they just got disappeared, and they have those deities. So he said that, oh, for these deities, they have a small garden, and they have small flower garden basically. And then he said, you should water these plants. So Dukhi Krishna Das, he got that service, and he got really happy for doing that service. And with great humility he would go to the Ganges, and then he would bring some water on his head, and he would go and water the plants. And it is said, thoughts of watering the flowers for Gauranitai would bring tears in his eyes. So he was so much engrossed in that service that he like tears were literally always there in his eyes, just thinking that I am watering these flowers, I am watering these plants, and these plants are offered to Krishna. In one sense, we might think, oh, this is a menial service, but he was so grateful about it. So this is an important lesson, that we should be always grateful about even the small things that we do. We might be thinking, oh, there's just like trash bag kept outside. We should not think, oh, this is just, let me just throw it, and Krishna will not notice. But Krishna will notice it. Until and unless our heart is clear, our heart is clean, and we are like doing it in a humble mood, Krishna will notice it. So this would bring tears in his eyes. And what happened is, so since he was getting that big pot on his head, over time wounds appeared on his head. But he didn't notice, because he was so much engrossed in the service, he didn't notice that. And then over time, doing that, it was getting wet again and again with the Ganges water. It was getting wet again and again. So worms started to appear there. And then over time, a lot of worms were there on his head. So one day his Guru Maharaj was watching, and he saw that his Guru Maharaj is watching, and he got tears in his eyes again just by looking at them, and he gave him so much services. So he was very grateful about it. But then as soon as he like bent to water the plants, a few worms they fell on the floor, fell on that plants over there, and his Guru Maharaj saw that. And then his Guru Maharaj got tears in his eyes, and he got really pleased also, with his sincere devotion, determination, and detachment from body. It is not possible to, like, if we have a little scratch, I would always say, see, I got this scratch. It is not possible. It is not easy to just get detached from the body, until unless we are so much attached to something which is like which has our heart in. So he was so much into that. So he got really pleased with his determination, determination, and he just placed his hands on his disciple's head. So it is said, he placed his hands endowed with mystic power on his disciple head, made the wounds and worm immediately disappear. So he got the mystic power basically. And it is said, pure devotee actually has a lot of mystic powers, but they don't want people to follow them, but they want their instructions to be followed. They want people to follow their instruction. They don't want people to just follow them. Like if you go to India, there are so many babas. They might do some like magical thing in front of you, and you might think, oh wow, this baba is so great, let me worship him. But it is not. So basically pure devotees are not like that. They want us to worship Krishna in that mood, in that sincere mood. And I was hearing this, that Srila Prabhupada has also mystic power. Do you know what was that mystic power? There. Yes, Mata?
Well, I don't know if this is the one that you're talking about. His feet didn't touch the ground.
Yeah. So there were disciples who said like that. There was a Leela like that. But I was talking about one time a news reporter. He asked Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, you so many people are following you. You are such a great yogi or Baba, whatever. Can you do some magic? Can you show me some magic? He said, this is my magic. That's how he said. All these people heart got transformed. I can just make gold. Like even in material science also we can make gold from mercury. We can do that. Material science we can do a lot of translation from one material to another. So that is not a big thing. So Srila Prabhupada said, this is my magic. These people heart got transformed. So that is his mystic power. That is his mystic power. It is not easy to transform someone's heart. It is not easy. But Srila Prabhupada's purity was so much that he transformed so many people. And now you can see there are so many big temples coming in. So many people's heart got transformed. Yeah, they were hippies. They were lying on the street. And then they had no aims. And even I was a hippie. So we had no aims basically. But as soon as we came in touch with Prabhupada or his disciples or his books, we got transformed. Our heart got transformed. You can see how that transformation has happened. So basically, then his Guru Maharaj, who is Hridaya Chaitanya Das, he called him and then he said that now you are actually qualified to go to Vrindavan and worship Krishna. So now you are qualified. Can you imagine how exalted he was till that point? But his Guru Maharaj said, now you are eligible to go to Vrindavan and worship Krishna. So it is not a cheap thing that you go to different dhams. Actually, this is also Vrindavan Dham. This is a manifestation. Each and every temple, we go to New Vrindavan. All these places are not like cheap things. This is like the topmost thing topmost place where we can go. So his Guru Maharaj said, you go to Vrindavan and take shelter of Jiva Goswami. So basically, we can imagine how difficult it is to worship Krishna by this point that his Guru Maharaj is now saying that now you are qualified to worship Krishna. So it is very difficult to actually really worship Radha and Krishna. In one of the letters that Srila Prabhupada wrote to Yamuna Devi, he wrote, the worship of Radha Krishna as it appears in Vrindavan is a very elevated stage. So we worship Radha and Krishna as Lakshmi Narayan. But in the later part of the letter, he said, for a conditioned soul, there is no possibility to worship Radha and Krishna. But we worship Radha and Krishna through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because of the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are actually able to worship Radha and Krishna, which is the topmost thing in the whole universe. So we are very fortunate to be able to worship Radha and Krishna in the temple here with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai, right? So we should be grateful about that. And then finally, the Dukhi Krishnadas, he reached Vrindavan and met Jiva Goswami. And then he started to serve Jiva Goswami. So Jiva Goswami is also one of the Goswamis of Vrindavan. He is a very exalted personality. So he learned deep topics of devotional service there. With great humility, he was serving and he was learning. So it is said that in order to learn something, we have to be humble. If we are not humble, if we go to some Guru Maharaj or if you go to someone thinking, oh, I already know. Usually this is our mentality, right? If we read some scriptures, we think, oh, I already know this verse. But actually, we really don't know. If we really know, then we would think that we don't know. That is the thing. Like as soon as you start to get the knowledge, you would think that, oh, I don't have the knowledge. That's how it is actually. So he started to learn deep topics and then he was living under the cave. Dukhi Krishnadas was living under a cave in Vrindavan and he was chanting very submissively, very nicely and very humility. It is mentioned, he was chanting with great sincerity, devotion and all humility. So all humility in the third Shiksha verse, it is said, if you are chanting with great humility, you can chant 24 hours. And with sincerity and devotion, so these two things are also in the nectar of devotion, nectar of instruction, third verse, right? Utsahat Nishchat Dharya. So he was chanting like that, and Jiva Goswami just understood his progress. He understood, and then Jiva Goswami also got pleased with his service attitude. So Jiva Goswami one day he entrusted him with another service, which was a menial service, but this Dukhi Krishnadas took that service with so much of gratefulness. So that service was Jiva Goswami entrusted him with another service, which was sweeping the sacred place of Seva Kunj. So in Vrindavan, have you visited Seva Kunj? No. So I think you have visited Nidhivan. So Seva Kunj consists of many different places and then many different temples, and then one of them is Nidhivan. So the Dukhi Krishnas got the service to sweep there, and he got really and basically serving dham is a very good way to get spiritual progress, and this will help us in getting surcharge in devotion and recharge us in devotion. And what is the meaning of Dham? Dham really is where we have Radha and Krishna, we have Vrindavan dust also from here. So when we are serving in this temple or when we are going to New Vrindavan serving there, it is actually as equivalent as doing the service in Vrindavan. In New Vrindavan, it is said it is the manifestation of Vrindavan. This is the manifestation of the spiritual world. If we are in the temple, we should, we don't understand, I mean, at least for me, I don't have that gratitude when we are in the temple. And Naveen Krishna Prabhu says we should think that we are here for the first time. So if we have that mood that whenever we come to the temple, we think, oh, we are here for the first time, we will have that enthusiasm, right? So Dham so basically why is it helpful is Dham is a manifestation of Lord Balram. So when we serve Dham, we are actually serving Lord Balram or Lord Nityananda, like that. And as soon as we serve Lord Nityananda or Lord Balram, we get spiritually progress because he is the supreme spiritual master. And then so this Dukhi Krishnadas kept serving the Dham, and while he was serving Dham and thinking while sweeping that this is the same dust that once touched the feet of Radha Krishna. And then it is mentioned, he muddied the earth with the steady stream of tears. So he was just sweeping and his eyes had a lot of tears coming, and then he was just muddying the whole sand over there. So he was doing the service with that humility. And yeah, so he was muddying the sand with that humility because he was serving like that. So one night, Lord Krishna and gopis were absorbed in a singing and dancing under the full moon in a beautiful seva kunj, and as the dance intensified, a golden anklet. This is from the book as well, and if you want to watch this, you can watch it in Indudumna Swami Maharaj's lecture as well. So intensified a golden anklet, so that there was a golden anklet in Radharani's leg, embedded with diamonds and other costly jewels, slipped off the foot of Srimati Radharani and fell in the dancing arena unnoticed to anyone. So basically, the anklet was there in Srimati Radharani's leg, and that fell down over there, and then it was unnoticed. And somewhere it is said this one night is actually one night of Lord Brahma. So these pastimes are always going in Vrindavan. Some pastimes are called manifested pastimes and some are called non-manifested pastimes. So basically the pastimes are still happening, but they are not manifested on the physical level, because in Vrindavan or in the spiritual world there is no time. Time is just a dimension which we have in this material world, but in spiritual world there is no time. So on unmanifested state there is all these pastimes happening. Then the next morning, Dukhi Krishnadas he arrived for sweeping, and then he noticed something. He noticed all the flowers were scrambled here and there, and then he noticed that birds were singing in a different way, and he noticed all the parrots are also singing. Some kirtan was going on, nice kirtan was going on. So this Dukhi Krishnadas, just noticing that, it is said Dukhi Krishnadas arrived for sweeping and he notices flowers scattered everywhere and birds and parrots together singing the song in the glorification of the supreme divine couple. As soon as he saw this, he started rolling in the dust of Vraja. He started rolling in the dust of Vraja, crying tears of joy and happiness before even he started to sweep. So he didn't even started sweeping. As soon as he came in, he saw this, and then he started to rolling in the dust of the Seva Kunj, thinking he is so fortunate. So he was so grateful. He was thinking, I'm so fortunate that he was seeing all this. He was in Vrindavan and he was serving Jiva Goswami. Then like getting back in the consciousness, he started sweeping again, and as he would do every day, he just started sweeping in a normal way. He was like with the tears in his eyes, and then he just saw there was some light coming from at the corner, and that was the anklet lying in the sarovar, lightening the whole kunj basically. So and it is mentioned that anklet emanating otherworldly rays. So that anklet was there and it was emanating some beautiful rays. And then he actually went nearby and he just tried to, like, with this stick with which he was cleaning, he just tried to see what it is, and then as soon as he cleaned little dust from it, and a lot of rays started to come from it. And then it is said that as soon as he touched it, he got a spiritual electric shock. Just like we put our hand in some outlet, we will get a shock. So as soon as he touched it, he got a spiritual electric shock, and it was a divine ecstasy. He got like completely out of the world. He regained his consciousness, and then he heard a Akashvani, and Akashvani said, "Keep the anklet very carefully." So that was the Akashvani, and then he understood that okay, that means this anklet belonged to a very important person, and he got this feeling, this is a very important thing, and he just put it in his, tied it in his kurta, and that, yeah. Then finally next day, or like same day, Radharani noticed that she lost her very favorite anklet. So it was the most favorite anklet of Srimati Radharani. So she asked Lalita Sakhi, who is her like very, and Lalita Sakhi is the guru of the gopis. So usually, like normal service in the sense, usually the services goes to the manjaris. But this time Radharani asked Lalita Sakhi for this specific service because there's a lot of reasons behind it as well. But she asked Lalita Sakhi, and then Lalita Sakhi, she said, please Lalita Sakhi, that is my favorite anklet. Can you please go and find it in the Seva Kunj? So yeah, Lalita Sakhi said okay, and then she went, taking a disguise of an ordinary village girl, and then she saw that Dukhi Krishnadas is sweeping, and then she went to Dukhi Krishnadas and she asked. Uh, so she said, "Hello, I am Radha Dasi." That's what she said, and she was disguised as a normal village girl. And she said, and she said, "I am from village Yavat." And then there was an anklet that my sister had, and that anklet belonged to my sister. And yesterday we were here, and then sister heard roar of a lion, and then she got scared and ran away. And due to which her anklet fell down over there. So Dukhi Krishnadas understood something. There's some fishy thing, because he could see that how can expensive anklet belong to this village girl, and she is saying that this anklet belong to my sister. So he questioned, you are saying you are a simple village girl and your sister is also simple village girl, but this anklet seems very costly. How could it belong to you? So she said, so she got little annoyed, but she didn't want to. She also understood that this person is an exalted personality, because he's not just okay, you can take the anklet back. She could also understand, and she didn't offend him. So even the exalted personalities, she is such an exalted personality, like we can't even think of Lalita Devi. So she didn't offend that devotee, and she said, okay, we might be poor. No, sorry, she said, so we might be poor, but sorry. So there was a sentence that I missed. Can you? Yeah, we are from a simple village, sir, but we are not poor. Now please give the anklet back. So that was funny. But Dukhi Krishnadas, he said, sorry ma'am, I can't give you the anklet back. And then and then he said, if you and your sister are so rich, why can't I want to meet your sister, and I want to see for myself, is this anklet really belong to your sister? That's what he said. So Lalita Devi got really impatient, and then she said, okay, if that's your desire, we can go and meet my sister. So they started to go from there, and then on the way there was Lalita Kund. So this Lalita Devi said, you should please take bath in this Kund. So this Dukhi Krishnadas thought, in order to meet a simple village girl, why do I need to take bath? I don't want to take bath. Then he said, for meeting you are saying your sister is so simple, you are from a simple village, why should I take bath before meeting your sister? Then because of his innocenceness, and this Lalita Devi got little merciful on him, and then she showed her real form, that she is actually Lalita Devi. And as soon as Dukhi Krishnadas saw that this is Lalita Devi, he got fainted over there. So and then he regained consciousness, and then Lalita Devi said, now. So now I am Lalita Devi actually, and then she gave Dukhi Krishnadas Srimati Radha mantra, which consists of 15 syllables and it explains 6 divine opulences of Srimati Radharani, and basically she initiated him. And then she said, now you go and take bathe in this Lalita Kund. Then Dukhi Krishna very happily he went inside. He take the dubki. What's that called? He took that 3 dips, and as soon as he came out, he saw his form got completely changed, and he became like a 12 years old girl. And then Lalita Devi said, "So Kanaka Manjari, welcome home. Let's go now." So basically, 12 years old girl, and then she got really so then this Lalita Sakhi said, "Oh Kanaka Manjari, welcome back." So she was so that's how her spiritual form was Kanaka Manjari. So she said, then they both went to Srimati Radharani, and then as soon as they went inside the palace of Radharani, as soon as this Kanaka Manjari or Dukhi Krishna saw the Radharani, he got fainted in the feet of Srimati Radharani this time. And then so finally Lalita Devi said, "So you wanted to meet my sister? She is my sister. Now you can decide we can have that anklet or not." So he was so happy to see Srimati Radharani, and then he took the anklet out, and he just handed over to Radharani to the left hand, and the Radharani's words. Basically, we are always interested to see what Radharani said. So I have Radharani's words here. Radharani said, "I am very pleased with your devotion, the way you are rendering service by sweeping this kunj. I want to bless you." So that's what Radharani said. She was very happy with this devotees serving the Seva Kunj every day with so much of humility, with tears in his eyes. So she said, "I want to bless you," and she pressed that anklet that Kanaka Manjari gave on her head. And then this Dukhi Krishna's head is having now a very nice tilak shape, and this tilak is shaped like Radharani's lotus feet. So that's how he got a different tilak. And now Radharani made a paste of camphor, honey, saffron, sandalwood, and she affectionately made a splendid dot in the middle of that new tilak. And then finally, this Lalita Sakhi gave tilak name. So that tilak had a name. That tilak name was Shyama Mohan. And then finally, Radharani said to Kanak Manjari, "From today on, your name would be Shyamananda." So basically, Radharani also initiated him. So now this Kanak Manjari would be known as Shyamananda. So that's how he got the name Shyamananda. And you should remember that his spiritual master didn't know about it. So finally, what happened? So Radharani said to basically Lalita Sakhi gave tilak name Shyama Mohan. Then Radharani said to Kanak Manjari or DKD, which is like Dukhi Krishnadas, "From today onward, your name will be Shyamananda." As soon as she said the name as Shyamananda, that Shyamananda appeared encrypted on the chest of Dukhi Krishnadas. Finally. Yeah. So Shyamananda now, so Radharani now, after all the pastime happened, Radharani now requested Shyamananda, now you should return to the mortal world and share your good fortune with other people. Share your good fortune with other devotees. But after you go to the spiritual world and you are in front of Radharani, how could you go back? Shyamananda started to cry uncontrollably. "No, Radharani, please don't send me back to the material world. I don't want to go back. Please, please." But Radharani is so merciful. She understood the heart of Shyamananda, and she said, and because of that merciful heart, Radharani manifested a deity of Shyam Sundar, Tribhanga form. So there is Tribhanga form of Shyam Sundar. She manifested deity from her heart and gave it to Lalita Devi, and Lalita Devi gave it to Shyamananda. And she said, "Now you should worship these deities nicely, and when you will worship these deities, you would never be separated from me." So in Vrindavan we still have those deities of Shyam Sundar, and it is near Radha Damodara temple. You still go to those deities, you can still take the darshan. So finally, Radharani said, "As long as you live in mortal world, you should keep yourself engaged in worship of this deity. In this way, you will not suffer separation from me, and after that, you will come back to my eternal service in my eternal abode." So finally, she gave these 12 blessings. So basically, after that, she gave 12 blessings to those deities, and then I can read those blessings as well, but in the interest of time, I won't. Or I can read it. It's up to all of you. If you're not getting bored, I can read it. So finally, Shyamananda came back to this mortal world, and then as soon as he regained his consciousness, he was like floating on in the Vraja dust. So this was an unmanifested pastime of the spiritual world where he took part in that pastime, and then he came back to the material world, and then he was so happy, and he had those deities in his hand, and you can see Shyamananda written on his chest, and then he has tilak on his head. This is Radharani's tilak, and it has a dot, and that dot was like flashing rays out. And then the first thing he did is he ran to Jiva Goswami to tell about this pastime. And as soon as he told that pastime to Jiva Goswami really got pleased with the advancement of his devotee, and he said, "You are very fortunate, but please don't share this to anyone." But he would definitely mention that what is your name now? He would say, "My name is Shyamananda," and then he would say this to all the devotees, and then slowly the news reached to his spiritual master Hridaya Chaitanya Das. So Hridaya Chaitanya thought, what happened? Why this my disciple changed name without telling me? What's happening? He got a little angry. So he didn't just got angry because, oh, why did he change his name? But he was very concerned about his disciple. He was concerned, what happened? Did he leave Krishna consciousness? Why did he change his name? Did he take initiation from some other person, some impersonalist or something like that? So he was really concerned about his disciple. So he started from Ambika Kalna, and he started to go to Vrindavan, and as soon as he reached there, he saw this Dukhi Krishnadas or Shyamananda. He saw in front, and he said, how he saw the angry face, Shyamananda saw the angry face of his spiritual master, and he understood now, he's gone. He's gonna get chastised. So he started chastising, how can you do this without telling me? And he said, Guru Maharaj, it's all your mercy. I didn't do anything, it's all your mercy that I got this. Don't tell me any story. I don't want to hear any story. So he saw that there is a name written on his chest, Shyamananda, and there was a tilak. And he said, I want to erase this name from your chest. I want to see. So he said, Guru Maharaj, whatever you want. So he just fell on the feet of Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj started to rub with the cloth, but the name started to appear more and more and more. It wasn't like going off. And same thing is with the tilak. So internally he was getting pleased that this person got the mercy of Radha and Krishna, but externally he was showing the anger. Finally, after some time, he decided, okay, that's okay. I'm still angry I'm still angry with you. And then he went back to his ashram in New Vrindavan. He made his small ashram, his disciples, and then he went there. And then he got a dream where Srimati Radharani told him that don't be angry on your disciple. That's my mercy that I gave to your disciple. So he became so pleased with that, and he got up in the morning. He went to his disciple, and he actually lifted his disciple on his shoulder, and he said, "You are very fortunate." And then his disciple got very humble, and he went to his feet, and then he said, "Guru Maharaj, it's your all mercy." And this was a nice pastime was there going on. So basically, these deities of Shyam Sundar are still there in Vrindavan. So we could go there and take darshan of these deities. There are 12 blessings of whoever go and take darshan of these deities. They get the same fortune what Shyam Sundar Pandit had. So in the interest of time, I had to speak till 12:30. So it's 12:25. I'll stop here for 5 minutes. I'll just ask you guys if you have any question. And really, if I made any mistakes, please forgive me. It's my first time. So Hare Krishna. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for telling us beautiful pastime, but what are the 12 blessings?
Okay, so I can read you those blessings. So she gave 12 blessings to whoever renders service to that deities in this material world. And then it is said we can share the same fortune, and great devotees live to share these fortunes with other people. This first blessing is whoever has darshan of this deity with devotion, whoever has darshan of this deity with devotion will obtain prema bhakti and go to rarely attain divine abode of Sri Krishna and will never come back. Poverty and he will never get poverty, and he will go back after this lifetime to the spiritual world where in the Golok Vrindavan. So that is the first blessing. So if you just take merely the darshan of those deities, you will go back to Godhead with devotion, right? Then second, whoever has regular darshan of this deity will go to accompany by 10 pastimes of then his 10 future generation and 10 back generation, they all will go back home, back to Godhead. Whoever will take darshan of these deities. So yeah. Third is, whoever regularly cleans the temple of Sri Shyamasundar shall go to heavenly planets, and after enjoying life, they will attain the abode of Sri Krishna and Radharani in the Golok Vrindavan as one of his attendants and obtain the bliss of their service. So this is another blessing. Fourth, if one regularly smash himself with the cow dung after cleaning it with then fourth one is here. Any pious person who places a flag on top of temple and decorates with banner will immediately become free from all sins committed since birth. So that was another blessing. Fifth blessing, a fortunate great soul who regularly worship the deity shall attain the power to deliver the whole world, and all his desires will be fulfilled. So he will be able to deliver the whole world, just who is regularly worshipping those deities over there. A fortunate person, sixth, a fortunate person who gives new garments to this deity shall go to the moon planet and then attain bliss in abode of Lord Hari. So basically, whatever you get, and after that you go to the abode of Lord Hari. All these pastimes, all these points have that. Seventh, a rich person who offers precious ornaments to deities of Lord Shyamsundar will become emperor of whole earth and reside eternally in abode of Sri Krishna. So first he will become emperor of the whole world, and then he will reside in the abode of Sri Krishna. If being full devotion, one should have fortune of even once having darshan of Shyamsundar and adorned with golden ornaments, then all his relatives will go back, 7 generation will be delivered. Okay, this is repetition. 8. A pious person who offer deity flower ornaments shall obtain best objects of enjoyment and pleasure, and at the end will go back to abode of Lord Sri Krishna. So he'll get all the objects of enjoyment in the material world, and then he'll go back home, back to Godhead. A fortunate person who shall offer first class food stuff and beverages to this deity shall have all his desire fulfilled. First he'll have all his desire fulfilled, and they will obtain the fruits of so many lifetimes of yajna, and at the end will go back home, back to Godhead. So at the end you will go back home, back to Godhead. That's the best part. 10. Whoever circumambulates 3 times with heart full of devotion shall obtain the fruit of having circumambulated the whole world, whole universe. Having visited all pilgrimages and having bathed in all of the rivers, they should become free from all the sins, attend all, like doing all the other religious things, and just circumambulate the temple for 3 times. You will get all that benefit as well. And then at the end, you will go back home, back to Godhead. Last, the fortunate person who has darshan of Shyamsundar during the arti shall obtain the fruits of all worship, mantra, rituals, and previously performed. Even in this is given by the devotee. Even the killing of Brahmana or having an illicit intercourse with another woman, this sin also can be destroyed by taking the darshan of Shyamsundar deities. This is and then at the end he'll go back home, back to God. That's added in all the, yeah. Yeah. So basically, these are the list that Radharani told Shyamsundar before he went back. So these are the 12 lists that's also mentioned in that book, which Indradimna Swami Maharaj shared. So yeah, and then actually he came back in the mortal world and again in the material world as he regained the consciousness in the Shyam Kund there. Thank you, Mata.
Why he didn't change? I was kind of expecting the Duki is kind of misfortunate or one like in pain, suffering. So when he took initiation, I was thinking like in Lord Chaitanya's pastime there was a Duki when
Yeah.
he was carrying water.
Yeah.
expecting something like this, but the Guru gave this Dukhi Krishna Das name. Why Dukhi?
So basically, spiritual master give the name to the people according to their feelings, basically what feelings they have for Krishna, and then this person would always be sad of the separation of the divine couple. So that's what just my speculative mind say right now, my Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, we kept hearing you crying, tears and more tears.
Yeah, he like in all the pastimes I would see it was like his eyes would always be filled with tears, always be filled with tears. Even if he is doing some service for the deities for Gauranitai in his ashram, or even when he was in Vrindavan, it is as it is mentioned, he was like wetting the whole soil with that stream of tears. So he was always dukhi, but dukhi because of the separation from the Lord and because of the grateful mood, that gratefulness that I am serving the deities of. I'm serving Radha Krishna. I'm serving the place where Radha Krishna was dancing here. So he was in that particular mood.
In general, looking is misery in the material perspective. So, but the same in translation to Krishna was highest in the third number of. So that's the perfection of the state. Krishna, Damodara is trying to Krishna. So it is not material in the misery, but a spiritual excess.
So if there is any other comments, Prabhu, you want to say?
Thank you very much, Prabhu. I don't think so. Even like first class was this better. This is the first class, amazing. Thank you very much. So let's give a big round of applause.
His grace Damodara Krishna Prabhu ki.
Prabhupada ki, Shyamananda Pandit ki, Shri Shri Radha Shyam Sundar ki, Shri Shri Radha Natbar ki, Gaura Nitai ki, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की, गिरी गोवर्धन की, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की, हरि हरि बोल, हरे कृष्णा.
Now we'll have stand up for the last. Let's see, go and Prabhu.